Northern blotting. Northern blotting is the technique that is used for detection of RNA in the sample. RNA sequences can be detected in the different samples originating from organisms, originating from tissues, originating from so many different things. So, this technique was developed by a scientist called James Alvin and George Stark and Alvin at Stanford University, US in 1979, and it was named such by analogy to southern blotting. Like after southern blotting, the next blotting technique was designed by the scientist and they gave it a name northern blotting. It has nothing to do with the south or north or east or west. What are the steps involved in northern blotting? The first step is RNA is isolated from several biological samples. It could be tissues, it could be any sample in which we are finding out the RNA from that sample. The samples are loaded on the gel and the RNA samples are run on the gel and the RNAs are separated just like DNAs according to their size on the agar gel. The gel is then blotted. Here, nitrocellulose membrane filter can be used, or we can also use a nylon membrane paper by creating the sandwich arrangement just like we have discussed earlier for southern blotting. Nylon membrane with a positive charge is the most effective membrane here for the use in northern blotting, since the negatively charged nucleic acids have high affinity for nylon membrane. Once the RNA has been transferred to the membrane, it is immobilized through covalent linkage to the membrane by UV light or heat. Then the membrane is placed in a dish containing hybridization buffer with a labeled probe. Thus it will hybridize to the RNA on the blot that corresponds to the sequence of our interest. The membrane is then washed to remove the unbound probes, and the labeled probe is detected by autoradiography just like southern blotting, and via chemiluminescence reaction it can also be detected just like chemical labeled probe. If it is used, we can use the chemical which can produce the color, and we can observe the desired DNA if it is there on the membrane. In both cases, this results in the formation of dark band on the X-ray film. Now, the expression patterns of the sequence of interest in different samples after that can be compared. So that's about the northern blotting. And what are the applications of northern blotting? It is useful for revealing the sizes of messenger RNAs encoded by the gene. It can study DNA degradation. It can study RNA splicing. We can study RNA half-life in the sample. Often we can use it to confirm and check the transgenic animals or knockout animals in the experimental animal studies. That's about the northern blotting. And then one more blotting is there. Actually, it has nothing to do with DNA or RNA. It is the western blotting. Here the desired proteins are tested or identified characterized with the western blotting. Protein blotting is an analytical method that involves the immobilization of proteins on membrane before detection using the monoclonal or polyclonal antibodies. This technique is very useful in identifying the desired proteins. There are different blotting protocols used like dot blot method, 2D blot method, and it's one of the most powerful blotting technique is western blotting for identification of proteins. Principle of western blotting is that it is an immunoblotting technique which rely on the specificity of binding between a molecule of interest and a probe to allow detection of the molecules of interest in a mixture of many other similar molecules. In western blotting, the molecule of our interest is protein and the probe is typically an antibody to that protein that is raised against that particular protein. Here the electrophoresis preferred in case of proteins is called as SDS page, sodium dodecyl sulfate polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis technique. It is the prerequisite of western blotting where we are using SDS page method. The western blot is an analytical technique used to detect specific proteins in a given sample of tissue homogenate or tissue extract. SDS page is used to separate native or denatured proteins by the length of the polyacrylamide polypeptides or by the 3D structure of proteins. That could be native protein or non-denaturing conditions. The proteins are then transferred to a membrane like nitrocellulose membrane, or one more membrane that is used is PVDF membrane, where they are probed, that is they are detected using antibodies specific to the target protein. The procedure involves following steps: tissue preparation, gel electrophoresis, transfer, blocking, detection and analysis. What are these tests we will see in short. Tissue preparation is the preparation of samples. It may be taken from whole tissue or from cell culture. In most cases, solid tissues are first broken down mechanically using a blender. It should be noted that bacteria, virus or environmental samples can be the source of protein that we are desiring, and thus Western blotting is not restricted to only cellular studies. Assorted detergents, salts and buffers may be employed to encourage lysis of cells and to solubilize the proteins. Tissue preparation is often done at cold temperatures so that proteins they don't get denatured. Then the proteins of the samples, next step is gel electrophoresis. Proteins of the samples are separated using gel electrophoresis, that is SDS page electrophoresis. Separation of proteins may be by isoelectric point, molecular weight, electric charge or combination of these factors. The principle involved is a difference in the electrophoretic mobilities of different proteins, just like the previous ones. Then the next step is transferring. In order to make the proteins accessible to antibody detection, they are moved from within the gel onto a membrane, and membrane of nitrocellulose, just like DNA or RNA that we have seen. Or a membrane could be PVDF, that is polyvinylidene difluoride membrane. The membrane is placed on top of the gel and a stack of filter papers is placed on it. The entire stack is placed in a buffer solution which moves up the paper by capillary action, bringing the proteins with it up to the membrane. Another method of transferring the protein is called electroblotting, and it uses an electric current to pull proteins from gel into PVDF or nitrocellulose membrane. Then the next step is blocking. This is the additional step that is used here. The membrane supports used in Western blotting have a high affinity for proteins. Therefore, after the transfer of proteins from the gel, it is important to block the remaining surfaces of the membrane to prevent non-specific binding of the detection antibodies during subsequent steps. A variety of blocking buffers ranging from milk or normal serum to highly purified proteins are used to block the free sites on a membrane. The blocking buffer should improve the sensitivity of the assay by reducing background interference and improving the signal to noise ratio. Blocking of non-specific binding sites is achieved by placing the membrane in a dilute solution of protein like bovine serum albumin with a minute percentage of detergents like Twin 20 in it, so that the remaining spaces are blocked. Then the next step is detection of the protein that we are desiring on the nitrocellulose membrane. During the detection process, the membrane is probed for the protein of interest with an antibody, that is primary antibody, and then it is incubated. Secondary antibody, which is linked to a reporter enzyme, is added. This procedure is just like the procedure we are using in ELISA test, indirect ELISA or sandwich ELISA. So the secondary antibody, which is linked with the enzyme, is added, which when exposed to an appropriate substrate drives a colorimetric reaction and produces a color just like dot ELISA. Then the analysis of the result. After the unbound probes are washed out in the washing, the Western blot is ready for detection of the probes that are labeled and bound to a protein of interest. The membrane is then detected using a label antibody, usually with an enzyme such as HRP, that is horseradish peroxidase, which we use in ELISA also. And it is detected by a signal it produces corresponding to the position of the target protein. This signal is captured on a film, which is usually developed in a dark room. That's the different step than that of ELISA. What are the advantages of this step over or this method over ELISA? While ELISA is being a non-specific test, Western blotting is very specific test for detection of diseases like HIV. It can detect one protein in a mixture of so many proteins while giving information about size of protein and so is more specific. Western blot is also used as a definitive test for diseases like bovine serum albumin, prion diseases, because prions are made up of only proteins. You have learned about that. Some forms of Lyme diseases can also be tested with Western blotting. It also tells us how much protein has been accumulated in a particular cells that can be used for diagnosis of diseases like cancers, tumors, and so many other allergic conditions also. What are the disadvantages of this blotting technique? If the protein is degraded quickly, Western blotting will not detect it. This test also takes a longer time than that of existing tests like ELISA, and this test could be very costly also. So the cost also matters. So that's about these blotting techniques. Thank you.